What is going on, people? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a very new podcast on the channel. Obviously, it's not a new podcast, but it's a newly named podcast. Obviously, we've done these shows before, but I've decided to name it into a podcast. It's Over the Net to Tennis Podcast. If you basically hit the net, you can't score points. So you only got to hit over the net. Not in football, in tennis. But anyways, Augusta is back. We're gonna talk. The Australian Open is here. You know, you and I have been speaking since the US Open that the Australian Open was upon us. We spoke prior to the ATP finals. We didn't do ATP finals talk, but do you know what? We're here. We're going to discuss the Australian Open. And yeah, it's going to be a good one. Hope you're doing good, bro. How are you doing? Everything's all blessed on your side, and let's get started. It's going to be a good one.
It is an honor to be back with you, Ekevin. Our tennis shows are usually some of our best shows. They're chill, but they're also quite comprehensive and informative. So I personally love them. And we just get to chill with the chat. So big up to everyone watching. It will be a very historic and revealing Aussie Open. I must say, if you've been paying attention, the pre-Aussie Open that we've had this week probably been my greatest before a Grand Slam week ever. It has been really, really entertaining what the Australian Open have done before the tournament, engaging with the fans, being interactive, having exhibition matches before, having distinctive new formats like the 1 point Grand Slam, which basically was a tournament between a bunch of professionals and amateurs who contested a Grand Slam where you win a match by winning the point. Just 1 point, one match. So a person who won, if I'm not mistaken, was Jordan Smith. He's an amateur, not even a professional tennis player. He beat Jannik Sinner to win the 1 point slam, and he won $1 million. Ekevin, he became a millionaire for just winning a couple points, which is. And then obviously we've had the resurgence of Roger Federer as well, which has been great to see him. He'll be playing another match in a bit, and also he beat Casper Ruud in the tiebreak handily, dominated him as you expect, the closest thing to perfection. And then apart from that, we have an Australian Open between Jannik Sinner and Alcaraz trying to win their 9th Grand Slam in a row. Should be history, Ekevin. I'm all for it. I can't wait myself.
Same. I can't wait too. People, first thing you guys do, hit the like button on your way and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Twitter is not working at the moment. I'm not able to load any posts. So I'm able to tweet, but I'm not able to load any posts. So if you're watching from Twitter, go over to YouTube and watch it on YouTube better. Head over to AIM Sports on YouTube and drop a cheeky subscribe and a like. That'd be great for the channel. We're trying to get to 550 by the start of February. We're 20 subs away from February. 20 subs away from 550, guys. Come on. We're 20 subs to 550, guys. Come on, let's get there, people. 550, 15 likes minimum. And yeah, let's get cracking. It's going to be a good one. Obviously, Australian Open, you mentioned about Jannik Sinner, the 1 point slam. Things have already started to heat up in the land down under. So, I mean, what was the Adelaide International, Brisbane International that just went by. So, I mean, Medvedev took part. I think he won the Adelaide or he won the Brisbane. I can't remember what it was. I think he won one of the slams. So he won one of the trophies. I don't know which one he won, but I remember he won one of them. So that's a good start to his campaign of the year. But you wanna say something as well?
No, I have nothing to add. I'm just saying it's been a great start to the year. It's been very entertaining.
And obviously, Djokovic, Jannik Sinner, Alcaraz are back. Hopefully, for a fresh start. You know, because Djokovic last year made the semifinals of all 3 slams. All 3 slams. The fact that he's still doing it at the age of 40, to almost the age of 40. Yeah, we're talking about the GOAT here of tennis. That is crazy. That is next level stuff. Next level. Big up Djokovic, man. Big up to my GOAT. Big up to my favorite player. But you're up against the Jannik Sinners and Alcarazes now. It's unfortunate. But do you know what? I'll say this right now. Your time will come. Whether it be this year, next year, your time will come. That number 25 is on its way. You threw away too many chances to get number 30, no problem. 25, we're good. We're good with 25. I'll be there for the 25 slam. I'll be there for that number 25. I'll be there for the final. Wherever you play. So, but it starts here. Australian Open. It's his court. It's his like, it's his slam. Like, he's dominated the slam. He is literally the dominant. He literally, if you want to talk about Australian Open domination, this guy is pure domination. Obviously, Rafael Nadal has the 13, what do you call 11 or was it 15?
Mm-hmm.
15 French Open titles. Yeah, that's unbeatable. But in the Australian Open season, what are we saying? Like what, 5? Like 8, 10? He's got 10 now. He can, bro. If he wins this Australian Open, does he retire? Because he still said he wants to play the Olympics in 2028, doesn't he? So that could be a different story. But I want to know your thoughts on Djokovic's potential start to AO. And what do you think it could be for him?
Yeah, well, look, everything you said about Djokovic is factual. The fact is, Djokovic fans are the greediest. You come into tennis when Federer and Nadal are dominating, the two favorite players, the two best players ever. You want to win a slam, then you want to be the best in the world, then you want to win every single slam. Then you want to have more slams than Federer and Nadal. And then you're like, that's not even good enough. We want to have the most Masters ever. And then we want to win a slam on every surface more times than 2. Then you win a slam on every surface 3 times. Then you win more than 40 Masters. Then you be world number 1 for 428 weeks. Then you become the oldest ever world number 1. And you have a better head-to-head over all the GOATs in tennis. That is why you are the best of all time. That's what I think of Novak Djokovic, the best of all time, because the fact of the matter is, Ekavin, Novak Djokovic's greatest asset and his greatest adversary is not another player on a tennis court. Rafa and Roger, my idol in sports, is remarkable. He is the definition of beauty when it comes to sports. Rafa, the definition of relentlessness. But Djokovic, his mentality, Ekavin, as we've talked about, is second to none. I've never seen a more robust mentality in the history of sport. His mentality is do whatever it takes to win, yet somehow manage to dictate his entire destiny with his mind. So kudos to Djokovic. Now, the problem with having a tip-top mind, which is unparalleled, is a mind alone is not going to win you a Grand Slam. You also need to have your mind and your body, your brains and your body align. The problem, Ekavin, is Djokovic. Has he played a professional match this year yet?
No.
Because if I'm not mistaken, he was supposed to play in Adelaide earlier this month, but he couldn't, right? Because he pulled out.
I don't think so.
I think he withdrew Adelaide due to an injury, if I'm not mistaken. And he got a bit. I think he had an injury scare a few days ago as well. But whatever it is with Djokovic can beat anyone on any given day. We know that. But the reason he finishes in the semifinals, you said, Ekavin, is Father Time is undefeated. And to beat Sinner and Alcaraz on a given day, he can do that. But to beat them after 5 matches of best of 5 sets, the end of a Grand Slam, when you are fatigued, when you are fading, when you are tired, against those young and fresh legs of Sinner and Alcaraz, it's backs against the wall. You're doing it with one hand tied behind you. So for Djokovic, the most important thing is ability, mentality. He can go toe-to-toe with them. He needs to keep his conditioning peak. He needs to be so disciplined. And this is his best slam, because this is the freshest he'll be. And you'll have to bet that, as always, in previous years, when Djokovic has won at the Australian Open, that's because he is match fit when everyone else is getting match fit. That is because he is mentally fit when everyone else is getting mentally fit. Whereas at the French Open, at Wimbledon, and at the US Open, he'll be tired. He'll be more tired as the season progresses. They'll get more into it as it goes by.
Yeah, this is the truth, unfortunately, because Djokovic is too late now to win all the French Opens. I think the best you could do is equal Roger at Wimbledon, equal Roger at US. That's the best he could do, and try and just nick the little trophies here and there and get to 109. Was it 109 is a record, isn't it? It's on 101 now because I think he just won one. He won a trophy last year and he dipped because he said he couldn't go any further. It wasn't like it was what was it I forgot what it was, but I remember Djokovic played and he won his last tournament. He pulled out of the ATP finals. He
It was
ended
a
the year.
tournament right before the ATP finals, right?
He ended the year on a trophy, which is good, which is actually very very good. Ending the year on a trophy.
Yeah, so he beat Musetti in the final. I think in the final of was it Greece? He beat him in 3 sets, beat him 7-5 in the final set. He skipped the ATP finals. Musetti made it to the ATP finals.
Hmm. I'd argue no. I'd say French will be the hardest to win now because French Open is what, slow court or fast court. Djokovic is a very fast player. His shots down the line are very quick. And if healthy and if fit, he can get very far. The only issue with Djokovic is it's the lack of fitness. And you've seen it in these tournaments. You saw it at the Australian Open last year. He beat Alcaraz with one leg. Then unfortunately he had to pull out in the semifinals because he got injured in the game. And the US Open or the French or the Wimbledon, I remember one of the games he fell and hit his hip
on match point.
Yeah, on match point. So he wasn't fit. He wasn't really fit in that center. Then again, Yannick Sinner. So unfortunately, it's gonna be difficult to beat Yannick Sinner. But imagine injuring your hip and then not being able to move. People say it's an excuse, but try following that Djokovic and tell me how the pain is. That's all I can say. People just want to throw shade at Djokovic for no reason because he fell and he got hurt. But that's just what it is. That's all it is. Like you can't do anything about it. If you get hurt, you're hurt, and you're up against players that are younger, fresher, and healthier, and are fitter. So it's difficult. But what do you want to add to?
Yeah, I agree with you with the Djokovic conversation. I think the tragedy is, yes, he's getting home. No one defeats Father Time, and I think the other thing for Djokovic is he plays such a physical and a fast paced game, as Ekman said. Right? If we were to give a football comparison, Novak Djokovic is the Jose Mourinho in terms of style of play. Because what does he do? He soaks up the pressure. He forces you into a mistake, or if he can find a gap to exploit it, hit that cross court or down the line winning shot. That's how Novak Djokovic is operated, right? So really his mentality is I dictate everything, I force you into the mistake, I dominate and decisively win. The problem with that style of play is, yes, as Monkey D. Luffy just says, it extracts an enormous amount of energy. And that's why I think the hardest slam for Djokovic to win would be the slams towards later of the year. As a style of play, as a surface, Ekman is right. Clay would be the hardest because Clay's court speed, its ELO, is the slowest. ELO is essentially the ranking of how fast the court is. The slams are between 20 and 40. The French Open's ELO is around low 20s. Aussie is high 30s. So the French Open will be the most difficult slam to win. And yeah, it requires the most energy. And exactly. So I think the Australian Open is Djokovic's best opportunity to win a Grand Slam because he can catch his opponents sleeping. He will be as fresh as a daisy. And if he can manage his fitness, maximize and optimize it throughout the tournament, take it game by game, match by match, he can potentially win. I think for Djokovic, you look at it on a match by match basis.
Yeah.
And if you can control every single match, if you can control what you can control, not focus on what you can't control, Djokovic can do it. The ability never left. The mentality is always there. But we will see. The problem is he has two threats playing at the peak of their powers, playing at historic levels. How does Djokovic beat them stylistically?
The issue is he's gotta play from deep. He has to play from deep because the only issue is we've seen Djokovic in the past. When he plays at the net, he gets beaten too easily. He has to play deeper because we've seen how Sinner can and Alcaraz can destroy him at the net. You see how easily he gets beaten, because why? It's because he won't get back in time. The problem is, as you mentioned, his energy. He doesn't conserve his energy too much. He uses it all at the start of the game. The best way would probably be allow the players to try and suck up the energy at the start and just go for it in the second to third set. That's what Djokovic did against Alcaraz last year. Djokovic was one set down to Alcaraz, and he came back because he was playing on one leg, and he soaked up the energy, and he allowed himself to dominate Alcaraz game by game, set by set, and then he ended up winning the set, and he ended up winning the match in 4. So this is where I think he needs to try and use up the energy. That's where I say middle to third set. It's where he needs to use up the energy. Try and allow other players to try and use all the energy in set 1. But then again, the same for the young players, because younger players have the energy late on in matches. So they could try and conserve energy as well. And knowing Djokovic, he's going to use up all his energy at the start. So I don't think he's probably gonna. I don't think he's going to use up all of his energy at the start. Or I think he'll use up his energy at the start, and I think he'll get outpaced. He'll get outsmarted. In terms of outpaced, in terms of the shots that other players will take. You know what I'm trying to say? So I just don't see Djokovic lasting a whole tournament, not dropping a set. I think he will drop many sets, but it won't be like 2 or 3 sets. I think he'll drop 1 set per match, but he'll still cruise his way to the semifinals, in my opinion. That's what I think, because that's where the tougher part of the tournament gets. You playing Sinner and Alcaraz in the semifinals? Are you playing Alcaraz or Sinner in the semifinals? I don't know what you're playing.
He would play Jannik Sinner in the semifinals.
Okay, so that makes things interesting then.
Yep.
And Alcaraz has the chance to lose to Medvedev. We've seen it before. And Medvedev has beaten Alcaraz in a semifinal before of the US Open? Was it the US Open that he beat?
I mean, not since Alcaraz has become the player he's become.
Not since he's become, but we've seen it before.
He's beaten Alcaraz, I think, in 2021. But that was when Alcaraz was a teenager. Alcaraz was a baby who burst onto the scene. He was still an infant in tennis terms. But to what Ekevin and Monkey Elfie are saying, you're right. But Ekevin, the problem with the energy strategy that Djokovic has used previously. Do you remember there so many times peak Djokovic, or even just in his mid-30s, Djokovic used to play against, let's say, with all due respect, no names or players who were inferior to him, right? And the sets would be close, be 3-3, 4-3, 4-4. But then Djokovic would break 5-4 and he'd win 6-4. Do you remember how many times that used to happen, Ekevin? Yeah. How many times Djokovic used to do that? Because he would soak up the pressure, suck you in, make the mistake, play the big points better than everyone else. The problem with Ekevin, with Djokovic doing what you said, is now he also expends his energy doing that. You know, for him to do that, he also has to be a casualty himself. And also the difference between doing that with everyone else on the tour, which is why Djoko can make the semis, compared to Alcaraz and Sinner, is because of 2 things, mentality and intensity. Sinner and Alcaraz's mentality, they don't treat Djokovic like an idol. They don't look up to him. They look at him. They think. In fact, they know they can beat Djokovic head-to-head. They know ability-wise there is no excuse. They are younger. They are fresher. They are fitter. Anything that Djokovic can do on that court, they can also do on that court now. That's the completeness of it. Secondly, the other thing is intensity. There's a cool stat, I think. Would really like to cite the source. I don't remember what the source was specifically, but Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz's recovery time is far beyond everyone else on the tour. So, for example, like the time it takes to get from baseline to the net, Ekevin, Sinner and Alcaraz are 2/10 quicker than everyone else on the tour. That's a long time in tennis terms. So basically, the game that Djokovic plays, even if Djokovic hits that perfect shot down the line to finish a normal player off with Sinner and Alcaraz, that is like 10 times harder. Because they get the impossible shots and they make the impossible shots. So for Djokovic, he's going to have to hope that Sinner and Alcaraz either are A, ill-prepared, B, not match fit, C, not mentally there and check out. Otherwise, head to head, when you look at the circumstances we have today of age, ability, mentality, intensity, you can make the case that Sinner and Alcaraz beat Djokovic on all fronts today.
Mm. No, you're not wrong. Like I said, energy-wise, they conserve more energy, and they're younger, and they've got the fresher legs, and they've got the fresher. They've got more strength. Djokovic is obviously declining in age. It's unfortunate for me to say this, but he is. And once he leaves the sport, I probably won't even tune in anymore. I'll be honest with you. As sad as it sounds, I just don't want to. When your favorite player sits into the sun, it's hard to love the sport as you once did when your favorite player was still standing. You know what I'm trying to say? So yeah. But obviously, Alcaraz and Sinner, what's their sort of run looking like? Obviously, they've got an easy first round. Obviously, they're probably going to cruise to the first round. No issues whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, whatever Alcaraz and Sinner's breakdown are, whether they have to face Djokovic, Medvedev, Zverev, de Minaur, all back to back to back, they will still be heavy favorites no matter what. These two have won all of the Gloss Grand Slams since 2024. But looking at their breakdown, Alcaraz has it easier compared to Sinner. As we talked about, Djokovic and Sinner are on the same path, so they're in a collision course set to meet in the semis. Whereas Alcaraz, his toughest threat would be Medvedev or Zverev. Sasha Zverev is Sasha Zverev the third seed? I think he is, right, Akavin?
He is, yeah.
So it would be Alcaraz and Zverev in the semis, or Alcaraz and Medvedev. But head to head at a major, Alcaraz just beats these guys by almost every metric.
Djokovic is number 4 in the rankings right now.
Yeah, he's number 4, and he would face number 2 Sinner. I guess the one that would be interesting to watch would be Alex de Minaur. Alex de Minaur, 6 seed, Aussie. In Melbourne. That would be fun to watch. Won't it be, Ekevin?
Yeah. Obviously, Alex de Minaur has had the better of what? Alcaraz in the past? He's beaten Alcaraz before, I think. Was it 4 sets? I couldn't remember where it was, but I remember he beat him somewhere. Was it the... It wasn't the French... Was it Wimbledon? No, it was Wimbledon, wasn't it?
I personally can't remember de Minaur beating him before, but I know he's pushed him. He's pushed him. I think
you should watch out for is Taylor Fritz. That's the guy on hard court that is someone that you have to look out for. Someone you have to look out for sure, because he is definitely a scary player to come up against. Taylor Fritz.
Yeah, I wonder what his
He should have taken it to 5 sets at what do you call at the US Open last year. He should have taken it to 5 sets. He was literally set point. Should have taken it to 5 sets. But listen, it is what it is. When the cookie crumbles.
Yeah. But unfortunately, I think the cookie for Djokovic, it is crumbling, but it's now or never. Every slam he plays is the next best chance for him to win. And you mentioned the Olympics, Ekevin. I don't know if he stays to the Olympics because it depends on what his objective is. He's won everything. You want to win everything as a player. He's the only one that can ever say that. He's the only one in a handful of sports that can say that. Him, the Messis, the Bolts, the Bradys, they can all say that. Tiger Woods. But the problem with that is this not yet. Maybe soon. Maybe in about 7 months' time. But the subconscious fuel to his fire, that incentive, isn't there as much. So we'll see how far Djokovic can take it. And the younger kids like Alcaraz, what does he want to do this time, Ekevin? If Alcaraz wins the Australian Open, he wins the career slam, which means he's won on every single slam. He would be the youngest player to ever win every single slam is to win the Australian Open this year. Which would be history, right? Because he would be joining an elusive club of Djokovic, Federer, and Nadal, amongst a couple others like Rod Laver, for example. So, but yeah, I mean, apart from that, Alcaraz is also one to watch. We talk about them being favorites. We know the games that they have. Alcaraz also split with his coach, Juan Carlos Ferrero. That was a big story in the offseason, Ekevin.
Yeah, it was a bit sorry.
Alcaraz is long.
Yeah, echo, by the way.
Sorry about that. Is it better now?
Yeah.
I'll mute.
So,
You can carry it. Okay.
no, I'll go now. Go.
So, for those who don't know, Juan Carlos Ferrero, former tennis player, very good tennis player in the past, played in the 90s and the 2000s. He was Carlos Alcaraz's coach, was coach for all of his magical triumphs throughout his ascendancy, basically the backbone, the most important voice in his personnel. He and Alcaraz split over the offseason. Now, of course, not necessarily any animosity. It was an amicable split, but we'll see how that leads to Alcaraz. How does that change how he acts and reacts in finals, to those pressure points, to the swings and momentum? Who does he reach out for in the coaching? This is his most trusted voice. This is his most trusted coaching personnel. Does that affect him? That's another thing to play into mind. So Carlos has the history, the weight of pressure on his shoulders. He's also the world number one as well, looking to take points in Melbourne, with Yannick Sinner being the back-to-back defending champion. So I don't know. We will see. But Alcaraz's draw is, I think, overall the easiest draw among the top other two in Djokovic and Sinner, because the fact of the matter is, I think in the quarters he would have to face hometown hero Alex de Minaur. Alcaraz has beaten him in all of the 6-7 matches that they've had, and then it's either Zverev or Medvedev. So yeah, and I think Alcaraz can get the better of both of them too.
I mean, like you said, they are the favorites when they come up against all these guys. Like you said, they are 1 and 2 for a reason. Obviously, Alcaraz being number 1, he finished number 1 last year despite the ATP final result, and number 2. So yeah, that's all I can really say about that. In terms of other players, like I mentioned, Taylor Fritz, he's definitely got a good chance to make it far as well. I don't know if Zverev is fit. Zverev is fit, yeah. He's gonna play, yeah.
Sasha Zverev is fit. He is the number 3 seed, and he is on Alcaraz's side of the draw.
So that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a tough draw for him, especially if he comes up against like a Novak or like a de Minaur first round. And watch out for Medvedev, because he can also make it tough, despite his recent Australian Open form or despite his recent finals that he's choked. He can still make it a tough run. So we have players there that can hurt these guys, but we all know the end result. We know what it's going to be.
Do you think so, Ekavin? You think there's no plot twist? There's no subversion of the status quo? You don't think Taylor Fritz can... You mentioned Taylor Fritz. You know who he's suspected to face in the quarterfinals? Novak, your man. Yeah. Could that be a problem?
Djokovic beat him.
He's beaten him, I think... Has Fritz ever beaten Djokovic at a slam?
Yes. Not at a slam, but he beat him at the six game slam, I think, at the was it Saudi last. Couldn't remember where
yeah,
it was.
we'll count that as a slam for logistical reasons. Yes, but I mean, in a best of 5 match, no. Taylor Fritz. The problem with these guys is there seems to be a very big gulf. There is a golf in class, right? Like Sinner and Alcaraz your ruling class. Djokovic your greatest of all time, but fading, and then everybody else. The difference is the guys like Medvedev, guys like Zverev, guys like Fritz that Ekavin says, they all have certain elements of their game that is just perhaps the most outstanding on tour. de Minaur with the speed, Fritz as well, Zverev with the backhand, Medvedev with his whole crocodile style of play, all distinctive. I mean, Medvedev is supposed to be the Djokovic of his generation, but the problem is they lack the two things. They lack the mentality and the reliability that the guys above them have. So that's why when Ekavin and I say it's going to be the same people winning, we don't want to do it because we're boring. We don't want to do it because we're uneducated. It's just because it's a fact, right?
We're just saying the facts. But who will win, though? We shall get to that in just a moment. Let's head over to the to the other side. The women's tennis. Obviously last year, who won was it Coco Gauff won last year? if I don't recall. I think it was Coco Gauff that won last year, didn't she? So she's the defending champion. You still have what's her name? How could I forget these people? I literally.
Wait, sorry. Did you say Coco Gauff won the AO last year?
Did she win? Would she win AO
No,
last year?
it was Madison Keys. Remember Sabalenka and her had a final.
Lenka, Madison Keys
went to the final. Yeah, went 7-5 in the final set, if I'm not mistaken.
And obviously, you've got the probably the best player in the world.
Who's that? Sabalenka or Iga?
Iga, possibly. Iga Swiatek. So it'll be interesting. Obviously, Emma Raducanu is slowly building her way up as well. Naomi Osaka, I don't know where she's been. You know, not really playing. Not really.
Hey, she had a renaissance, a revival at the U.S. Open. Let's not forget.
A bit of a resurgence, right?
Yeah, she made the semis, if I'm not mistaken.
She did, yeah. It could have been like a double US final last year.
Absolutely. I mean, she just lost. She barely lost to Amanda Anisimova. Anisimova, yes, but she beat Coco Gauff at the U.S. Open, and obviously she beat and Karolina Muchova as well. So Naomi Osaka is there. She has momentum. She has momentum at a major. Let's see if she can consolidate it. Of course, she's won a couple Australian Opens before. She won before she had her kids. But you're right, Ekefin. I think to jump in, Sabalenka is probably the favorite. I mean, to think she didn't win a Grand Slam last year is astonishing. It's just otherworldly. But again, her entire game is molded for a surface like this, and she'd be gunning for revenge. But you mentioned Emma Raducanu. They might meet in the third round, Ekefin. Sabalenka and Raducanu. So that could be a danger match, wouldn't it?
Definitely. Which players do you think is a dark horse to win it?
Oh, that's a good one.
If you had to pick one from the men's and women's, who would be a dark horse player to win it? Obviously, for the men's side, obviously there's two players I have in mind. I have Fritz and de Minaur. Djokovic is not a dark horse. He's one of the favorites because he's conquered this ground for so long. For the women's side, Anisimova, maybe she'd learned from her past finals. Coco Gauff.
I mean, she's the number 2 seed. Can we call her an underdog?
True, actually not. What about Naomi Osaka? Is she a dark horse to win it? Possible.
I would put her as a dark horse, yes, because Naomi on her day is similar to Djokovic. It's the same old adage. I don't want to be boring. It's form is temporary, class is permanent, and it looks like Naomi has rediscovered her form, so she can do it. But the problem with Naomi is she has a dangerous matchup in round 4. She's projected to play Iga Swiatek, and Swiatek, like Alcaraz, they're in the pursuit of something very coveted, a career Grand Slam. So the problem is guys like Anisimova and girls like Anisimova and Naomi Osaka, they're great players, and on their day they can beat anyone, as they have proven throughout their careers. One match sharpness will be a problem as well, but the other thing is also they have nightmare draws, where Sabalenka has it a little bit smooth.
Yeah, but if you had to, okay, how about this? Which players do you see making it into week 2?
If I had to have a gun to my head, Ekevin, who's making it into week 2?
No, if you had to list all the players that you think will make it into week 2.
Oh, that's like what we did at the U.S. Open. You want to run it? Remember we played a game before the U.S. Open? We guessed how many of the top seeds would make it into week 2.
Let's do it again.
You want to do it again? Should I get it up?
How close was I?
I don't know, but I remember I nailed the number precisely.
15, I think, didn't I?
I think you said 11.
No, I think I said 16.
Maybe you said 16, and I said something like 13. And then he who shall not be named, Lord Voldemort, said 8. So, but yeah, we can run it back.
All right, let's do that then. Let's run it back. How many of the top? What did you say again? How many seeds?
How many of the top 32 seeds do you believe will make the second week of Melbourne Park?
Oh, I'll say 16.
We'll
I'll
say
go.
16
I'll
then.
go in between. I'll go right in between. I'll say 16.
Problem is, I don't remember the method that we used last time in order to do this. I think we were doing it match by match, but I'm just looking through the match list. You have guys like Davidovich Fekina, Auger Aliassime. You have Casper Ruud, some clay quarters in the seeds. They might be threats to be eliminated early on as well. Then you have your guys, your guarantees like Djokovic, Sinner, Alcaraz. Maybe one of Zverev, Medvedev goes out. So I think by that logic, I think you have guys like Seb Korda who are unseeded, Jumer that can be threats, Fushkovich as well, who's shown that he can do it. It's tough. Giving a blanket number without much thought, I think that I'll say 14.
14. So we're two off.
Yes, because there's some seeds that shouldn't be seeds at a fast-paced hardcore slam. There are also some players that aren't seeded that can be dangerous. So, and there's some seeds that meet in the third round. So that's my thinking.
I'm thinking right in between.
Fair.
So I think.
Fair. I like it. We will check back and come back to that. Do you think that any of the top seeds will be out early?
No.
So-
They'll be within they'll be in the week 2, unless obviously they pull out their injury.
Of course. Yeah.
If fit, I think they all make it to the week 2. No problem at all.
Sure. Yeah.
The likes of Taylor Fritz, the likes of Djokovic, the likes of obviously Sinner Alcaraz will be there. Medvedev is one that I think maybe has a chance to get knocked out early. If I had to say, of all the top 10 players that I think could make it through the top seeds, I'm thinking Medvedev could be the one that gets eliminated, and maybe Zverev if he's not fit. Tsitsipas, I don't know what the fuck's happened to the guy. I just lost touch with the guy. I'll be honest with you.
I agree with you. I forgot about him. I hope he's doing well. Yeah, I'm with you. I know he's in the tournament, but I think he's a fringe seed. Yeah, he's a 31st seed, Ekevin.
So then there you go.
A real fall from grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be one of the ones who would have won Grand Slams before. So
Yeah, I mean the new big three was supposed to be Tsitsipas, Medvedev, and Zverev, right? Tsitsipas, the one-handed backhand, was supposed to resemble his idol.
Dominic Thiem.
Yeah, I'd say Dominic Thiem, I agree with you, but he was the generation above them, the best of the lost gen. And I think Dominic Thiem is a far better player than Medvedev, Tsitsipas, and Zverev ever was.
Yeah, unfortunately, injuries caught up to him.
The wrist.
But anyways, youngest prospects to look out for. The youngest prospects to look out for that couldn't make it far. That could have a run in them. Youngest prospect. I need some knowledge on this. I'm not so sure, but I need your insights.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give a shout out. Watch out for this man. I don't know if he'll make it far, but I think he'll make a name for himself. It's a guy called João Fonseca. He is a young 19-year-old. He is heavily touted. Everyone within the tennis community, the next gen, they are talking about him. He has some explosive ground strokes, and he's in the round 3. He's expected to face Jannik Sinner. So that will be a clash of titans. Again, similar styles of play in terms of intensity, the energy that Ekevin is talking about. That will be very, very fun. I'm looking through the draw as well. You also have guys like Jacob Mensik. And Jacob Mensik, Ekevin, do you remember who he is? He's a kingslayer, a giant killer.
I've heard of him. Yeah, Mensik. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you forget.
I think Djokovic played him before.
Novak Djokovic has played him before. I'm glad that's been wiped out of your memory, because Novak Djokovic hasn't just played him before. He has perished to him. A guy called Jacob Mensik beat Djokovic in the final of the Miami Masters last year in 2025.
Yep.
He beat him. And again, he has a
fan. Well, Djokovic fan as well.
exactly, and the fan of Djokovic, the man who embodies his mentality, has a very clean opening in the first few weeks. Ekevin, he doesn't face a top 90 player in the first 2 rounds. He's a very easy, and then in round of 16, Ekevin, you know who he's suspected to face? Your man, Novak Djokovic. So I genuinely think that is my dark horse. I think Mensik can send Djokovic home in the round of 16 because if Djokovic is not tip-top shape, you exactly know the one player that has, can, and will do it again. That is Jacob Mensik. Compromise him. And then there's another one, Ekevin. There's a guy called Giovanni Pericard. He is unseeded, but watch out for him. He is like a serve machine. He is genuinely one of the most supreme servers. I think he holds the record for the fastest second serve fastest second serve ever. So that's another thing to look out for. So those are 3 names in on the draw. Yeah.
What are the women's side? If you had to give a name for a player to possibly a young player.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not as much of an expert. I don't like to make it to share my opinion on something unless I'm informed about it, but I'll give you one. Is this not? I feel like this is a name Cam has mentioned before, but it's the person who won at Adelaide last week. It's the Canadian Victoria Mboko. The name. She's super young and she does have Sabalenka in her section, but again, she did beat Madison Keys in Adelaide. So she's getting better and better every tournament goes by. You never know what she can produce. One point, she could be a superstar. She's very accomplished on these courts now. She's acclimated, and she's ready. She's ready to rumble and rev up.
Fair enough. Predictions? Shall we get to predictions now? Early predictions?
Yeah. You tell me, Ekevin. What predictions do you want? Surprises?
Sinner Alcaraz final. I have a feeling Sinner wins this one though.
Do you want to do women's first or men's first?
Men's first is fine. I did the men's one already, so there's no point. What are you saying?
Gun to the head. Alcaraz needing to win the career Grand Slam. Alcaraz, the only Grand Slam that he's not won, the Australian Open. The man who won the US Open, the man who comfortably beat Sinner at the US Open, or at least comfortably had a hold on it eventually. Jannik Sinner, the back-to-back reigning defending champion, the man for the hard courts, the man who seems to be winning everything on hard court, who has got it stylistically at the slam. I hate to be the guy. I really want history to be made. But Ekevin, I think that history will be a mystery because Jannik Sinner, this is just his court, man. He's become the king of Melbourne. At the moment, he's temporarily taken Novak off the throne. And the medium to fast speed hard courts down under beginning of the season just plays into his rhythm, plays into his mood. He's trying that three-peat. He wants to be Michael Jordan. He wants to be Novak Djokovic. He wants to be Cristiano Ronaldo, 2016, 2018 Champions League. That's what Jannik Sinner wants. That's what I think Jannik Sinner probably will be.
Okay. Women's side. Iga Swiatek. Again. Probably going to be Iga.
Might be Iga, but I'm going to go with Sabalenka. Surely someone of that quality and ability. It is about time that you finally win a Grand Slam again.
Who does she beat in the final? Madison Keys?
That is a good question. I don't think she gets the keys this time. I don't know. I don't know the seeding. I don't think she'll need to use those keys to unlock that door. I don't know. I'm looking at
Anisimova again?
Yeah, Anisimova can do.
Oh, no. She lost to Anisimova at the US Open, I think. Oh, no, Wimbledon. My bad. Wimbledon.
Yeah, at Wimbledon, she did. You're right.
Absolutely smoked in the final, bro. Didn't even score a single set. Didn't even score a single game. 6-0, 6-0.
Yeah. It's tragic. I mean, Anisimova did reach the final of both Wimbledon and the US Open, Ekevin. 2 Grand Slam finals in a row. The problem is, like you said, what happened in those finals? That's the problem. So is it time? Anisimova is obviously the best player to not win a Grand Slam on that side of the draw. Is this finally her time, Ekevin? 2 Grand Slam finals in a row. Can she make it 3? 3 in the title? No, you don't believe so?
I don't think I don't think she wins it, Sabalenka. I think it's gonna be Iga.
It'll be Iga. Okay. I mean, it could be Iga. My only problem with the Iga pick is wouldn't surprise me if Iga and Alcaraz both did the Career Slam together simultaneously. Tennis has a way of making fantasy fairy tales a reality.
He never won
But
the Australian before. Iga
that's
Swiatek.
the only slam that neither have won.
Okay.
That's why the history is there for both of them. My only problem with the Iga pick is Ekman, her draw, that 4th round clash against Naomi Osaka. I really think that Naomi beats her in that match. That's my prediction. I think Naomi Osaka beats Iga Swiatek. Yeah.
So that's your shock prediction then.
If it, I don't know if it's a shock because Naomi's 16th, but yes.
Because you play 4 matches in a week, right?
Yeah, so you play 4 in the opening, 3 in the final.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what side of the draw you are, but it's 4 or 3 and 4. Yes.
All right then. Any last thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it'll be a fun Grand Slam. The US Open set the bar really, really high, but so far, Melbourne Park has done a great job with all these festivities. Looking forward to Federer's match with a bunch of his friends and greats like Agassi, Pat Rafter, and Leighton Hewitt. And then also with the AO, we'll see what happens. But yeah, Sincarez, my heart hopes Alcaraz does it. My gut thinks he'll do it. But my head, just like Ekman, Sinner, I think he's got a dope chance of doing it.
In my head, no, go finish. Sorry, I finished.
Sinner has a dope chance of doing it. If you know, you know.
No, I hear it.
You don't get the reference?
No, I get it.
He's on the ice.
He is. In my head, I got Sinner winning it. In my heart, I got Djokovic winning it.
Oh. You never know.
It's just what it is.
I mean, if I was to give, I hope. If I was to give a prediction, I'd say Sinner and Alcaraz are like 32%, 30%. Sinner a little bit ahead, and I'd put Djokovic at around 15. That's how I'd weight it.
Fair enough. But anyways, guys, it's been a good opening show. We are going to be back next weekend to recap week 1 and preview week 2. The final rounds of the Australian Open. So make sure you guys hit that like button and make sure you guys subscribe. If you are watching from Twitter, please make sure you do click the link in the quote tweet. Head over to YouTube and subscribe. And let's get to 550 before the end of January, before the start of February, if we can, people. That's gonna be where we kickstart our journey to 1K officially. You know what I mean? This is where we really, really kickstart our journey to 1K. So guys, if you want to see me hit 1K, you gotta subscribe and hit the like button as well. Let's get 15 likes minimum. Tennis shows are here. Tennis shows are back. The season's just upon us. You know, we're not going anywhere. You know, and Formula One's back in March. This is what I'm saying. Once the new year hits, once that clock hits midnight on a new year, you got lots of stuff to look forward to. Tennis, Formula One, NBA, season.
I can't contain my smile.
Deadlines.
Goosebumps, man.
Transfer window. You got so much in sports to look forward to, man. Once that clock hits midnight, then it's a new start, new fresh year. This is what I'm saying. Tennis is back. So we're not going anywhere, people. We're going to be back next week to preview it. We're going to cover all 4 slams that we did last year. We're going to cover every single round, every single let's say week. So week 1, week 2, and we're
every milestone.
We're going to try and cover the bigger tournaments as well this year if we can. So let's say like the Madrid Open, Rome Open, if we can. We'll try and cover as much as we can, because obviously we do have sports to cover too, and we have Formula One, we have football, we have basketball, we have NFL. NFL is this weekend, the divisional round. We just did the preview on Wednesday.
Hey, good luck, Kevin.
Make sure you do check it out. I appreciate you. Hopefully, fingers crossed the Patriots win. But we're gonna
see. Sorry.
Oh yes, bro. Hopefully we shall see. But guys, great show. Hit the like button, subscribe, Oh yeah, people, I forgot. I'm back in about half an hour for the Premier League show. Just to quickly plug that. Make sure you guys tune in. Love. Take
Djokovic is
care.
going to win. He needs that energy, by the way.
Love. Take care. Like, share, subscribe.